second, flip it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, thanks. I'm trying to get this position so you get the best view. Okay, everybody. That's okay, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So we are live, and let me just pause the camera here for a second while I go and make this public. Okay, so let me test this shot, and wow, what a good idea. Um, and so now we're going to test the shot, and I'm going to go look in the other room and just kind of see how it looks on the screen before we make this presentable to the world. Okay, yeah, actually, I'm okay with it overall. I forgot I left my cleaning supplies off to the side. We don't need distractions. We've got plenty to keep ourselves entertained. Always. So it looks okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to try to position this because now, next I'm going to have to go and set up my shots for whatnot. So let me put this back on pause there, but we will make it public and get it going that way. Okay, excellent. So we're going to do that. Let me look. Okay, it's okay. As long as we see that there's hair, it's okay. Let me see that there's hair. Yes, good hair day now. Yeah, if they're completely wrong and being irresponsible, then I might call them out. But otherwise, I would not call somebody out while they're doing their show. But we never get it 100% right. Okay. So here we go. We like that. We like that shot. We just have to get back to our favorite thing on the internet called YouTube. Yes, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Hello. We're going to go right here. We're going to stay home to shop. And we're going to... we really just want the channel. But we'll just do that. That's fine. Okay. Let's let that run. Let's let this one run. Okay, now let's go to my whatnot. I'm still here. I'm still here. And shows or profile shows. Okay, let me activate the YouTube live, then we will activate the whatnot live. Okay, so we should be live on YouTube, and we are going to be live on Whatnot. Sorry if the camera shakes a little bit. This is not a permanent setup, so I apologize in advance. How are you on YouTube? All of you YouTube followers, subscribers, lovers, sharers. You love to share my videos, don't you? And recommend that your friends also watch some of the fun stuff. So we're going to go live on Whatnot. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. And, you know, YouTube is more of a professional video. Hello, Kat. If you can go over to YouTube, that would be excellent. Because I'm trying something I've never done before. I've done YouTube and Whatnot successfully now a couple of occasions, but I have never tried to show YouTube on Whatnot while I was also live on YouTube. So this is like a 3D experience. So if you can go to YouTube, there is a coupon code in there, by the way. So if there's something cute or fun you want to buy, for now, pull it up in the background. But yeah, I mean, unless you're going to do the giveaways and buy stuff, you will get a better view on YouTube because you'll be able to see the full video and all that. So. But let's give it a second. Hello, Gathered Crafter. If you'll pull up this live stream on YouTube, you will get a full experience. This is a 3D experience. I'm on Whatnot and YouTube live at the same time, but I'm going to show you YouTube, and it's just going to be so much fun. So I always have things you can buy if you're in that shopping mood. So I'm not here to ruin anybody's Sunday evening, but I thought this would be so cool. And I don't know that it's going to work perfectly, but that's the fun of Whatnot. Something always goes wrong on every show. And on YouTube, the fun is that it gets all over the internet and just causes me embarrassment. So we're going to get it both ways. So yes. I saw the comment that you wanted to try that in your shops. And thank you for verifying quality. I know the positioning's a little off, but you can mostly get, I think, the full screen behind me, correct? And on Whatnot, it's completely blowing out because it's so bright. I wish I could actually have like a professional setup, but you know, you got to try something before you perfect it. So I was going back through, and what I'm doing is, for those of you who watch my shows, Good, good, good. Right? This video is actually the most popular video that I've ever done on YouTube. And the reason I love Whatnot so much is it is helping so many Whatnot sellers, but it's nothing that I advertised, paid to promote or anything. And for a long time, nobody watched it. But at the start of this year, a few people watched it, and then it has gone up. And about 100 people are watching it like every day. Yeah, maybe 100-ish. And a lot of them are asking questions. I've gotten more questions on this video than I've ever gotten in any of my other YouTube seller support shows on Whatnot. So really funny, but feel free to ask questions. The chat magically vanishes after the show is over on Whatnot, so you don't have to worry about that. But I know that sometimes, because it's a smaller community, people are a little more reserved. And then on YouTube, what I found is I have discovered people like to use family accounts. That is my very nice way of saying ghost accounts, troll accounts, whatever. So it is difficult at times for me to know if this is really an 8-year-old asking me a shipping question, which, you know, if you are an 8-year-old, maybe you had a birthday, but you're very entrepreneurial, and I love that. So wait until you're 18, then you'll talk to your parents and you'll make sure that you ship your packages out the right way. But I do know that one of the accounts was for an 8-year-old. So, and I work with adults, not kids. So, okay, Smile J9. This is a 3D experience. Get over to YouTube, and we're gonna watch YouTube videos on Whatnot. Well, I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on Whatnot. So I'm doing the full surround, and I know behind me it's like I'm walking into the light. You're like trying to pull me back, like, no. You know, maybe I should have done like buy it now. So you guys, I'm like, only if you buy stuff, that's the only way I'm gonna live. No. Let me see if I can do that. I get so many good ideas from the chat. You guys are amazing. You really are. So on here, I'll just pin the America's Best Cookbook. How about that? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, comfort food would save me. So yeah, feel free to ask questions, comments, and all that fun stuff. And if there are major issues on YouTube, please let me know. But I'm going to keep my eye on the Whatnot chat. I can't really keep up with the YouTube chat. However, okay, so yes, the #1 video that I have ever had on YouTube, if you don't mind my showing you, is this one. And that is because it helps people on Whatnot learn how to do their shipping. It's the one with the yellow, it's right here. And it says Whatnot shipping price. On YouTube, it should be clear. So I tell people, if they don't understand the basics of Whatnot shipping, it's not very complicated. And if you watch the first part repeatedly, you'll understand it. And if you're shopping on Whatnot, I think it always helps to know every platform has different shipping policies and prices. So clearly you would want to know the best rates or the lowest prices. And that video does, it does help. So anyway, okay. I am going to try to stop saying anyway. I want to go to my channel, because when did this all begin? That is such a perfect transition question. So thank you for asking. I am telling you, the way I'm going to get to my channel is, and this is how I like to watch YouTube. I like to get the full view. Even if it's vertical video, I want to make sure I can see everything. So I really enjoy it on a full screen. We're going to go to the channel. And there we are. Oh, we could watch ourselves. Should we try? I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. I hope it doesn't crash, everybody. I really hope this does not crash. Now I can see you seeing me on YouTube and Whatnot simultaneously. This is like such a trip. Okay, I have figured out how to clone myself. That is what we're gonna start doing. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, this is too much fun. Okay, so we're going to go back down here, and I'm going to show you some of the videos I did in the past that may or may not have anything to do with Whatnot, but there is a full playlist with Whatnot that you can see on YouTube. So right now, it's not really visible, but you go to YouTube to watch all the Whatnot videos, and I'm adding to that collection. I'm adding more past episodes of The Ship Show, which answers seller questions about shipping on Whatnot. I'm adding more replays of the videos that I do, just selling different stuff. And we have a lot of fun. So, but it takes a little while because the two different platforms, the way I'm set up, it's not a seamless transition. I have to basically take the video and edit it first and upload it onto YouTube, but I think overall the quality is okay. The other way that you can do it is if you do an iPhone, you can like do a dual cast. I'd rather show you the full picture, so I'm more of a fan of the full screen, and what works works. So I hope this continues to work. We will make sure you've got a plug-in or power, just so I remember. Isn't it fun? I talk to my phones. I talk to my car too. I just hope my car doesn't talk back or tell me things I don't want to hear. It's going to be really bright. So I'm going to come over here, and I was going through some of my old videos, and I started doing YouTube in 2021. And some of these I thought I would cringe, but actually they're not as poor a quality as I remember. So these are the CVS savings videos that I first started with. That's what I'm showing you as a list here. Thank you, Kat. If you can bridge the gap between YouTube and Whatnot for me, that is awesome. But let's see, where is the one? The one that I liked. Oh, this is my $4,000 in CVS savings video. As you can see, bright light. If I turn the lights low, you really won't be able to see me. And it's kind of creepy for a first time to be sitting here watching videos in the dark. Okay, so let's keep this all above board. But yeah, let's do a giveaway too on Whatnot. That's one of the things I like about Whatnot is that it does allow for giveaways. Not all platforms allow that. And I think that's just such a good way to keep people excited. And my giveaway items are always fun stuff. So you'll always get something fun. Hopefully, if it's surprising, it's a good surprise. So I did my 4,000 video. The thing about this is you can probably hear the sound. I've got the sound turned off for obvious reason, so there's no echo, but you could probably hear the sound. And the funny thing is, it actually turned out better than I thought overall. There wasn't a lot of color change, even when I kind of moved side to side. And now I would actually know how to edit that better so that it's even less noticeable. But before I ever did Whatnot, my video experience was limited to making YouTube videos. And so I wasn't as quick to spot those things. So Meme got it. Yeah. And you've also got a coupon code waiting for you in the description box on YouTube, and you're going to get the full view on YouTube. So make sure you're watching the live on YouTube. This channel is at Stay Home to Shop. So show notes would have helped. This is a first trial, so I'm just going to make note to myself of things if I ever try to do this in, did we call it 3D or 4D, where I'm on two different platforms simultaneously, while I can also watch videos from one platform, and I can even watch the live and clone myself. But if you want to make any changes, if you want to make any purchases, you'll do that on Whatnot. But if you just want to watch on YouTube, have some fun. You're allowed to do both. But YouTube, I think, does give a better video quality for this type of a setup. And really, what I've seen also, everybody's got their own way of doing things, but YouTube is meant just for video, and Whatnot has the all the interactive components. It also has all the e-commerce stuff. It has an auction clock that's timed to the millisecond, so it's a nanosecond. So it's amazing all the things that Whatnot is doing while we're live on video. But YouTube is the OG. It is owned by Google. They've got money to keep that platform running top notch. So the video quality, I think, is pretty good, as best as you can get on a live stream, which could be anybody anywhere in the world. I have no idea who's watching where. Even Whatnot is international now. So we're watching my 4,000 savings celebration. And if anybody can guess, put it in the Whatnot chat if anybody can guess what I'm standing in front of. I would love to hear your thoughts. And you will always be able to see that better on YouTube. I'm stepping just off to the side because I kind of want to peek at the YouTube to make sure there's no alerts, but I'm still here. So the show is not over. We're still here. You're seeing my hand, hopefully. And it looks like we're okay. It looks like we're okay. So yes, let me reposition this a little bit. So this is my 4,000 CVS savings moment, and I had so much fun with that. If I stand in the right position, I could probably block some of the glare. It's not changing that much on the screen, but the camera is picking it up at a different angle. So yeah, it looks like, again, I'm going to fall into the light if I don't stay with you. Okay, so anyway, STL doll, you will love this. So this is the 3D experience. I'm live on Whatnot. Well, I'm live on YouTube, and we're watching past YouTube videos, and I'm pointing out some of the funniest stuff. I am putting up more content. I want to make sure that it's helpful, but it's also entertaining enough that people want to watch it. And so please feel free to give me feedback. YouTube comments, I'll always see there. Whatnot comments, let me have it because it's going to disappear off the screen after this show. So while you have a second, please do. And enter that giveaway because you've probably got a very strong chance of winning if you're on the Whatnot platform. If you're on the YouTube platform, you are not eligible. You need to be on the Whatnot platform. And they have all the rules and regulations that you can read. So you're allowed to do both, but I think the best view is the YouTube Live. The YouTube Live has the full screen behind me, and I don't want to block too much of this. So yeah, this was me celebrating my 4,000 savings, my $4,000 savings, and so I set up a whole like background and everything, and it was so fun. And I'll just give you a little peek on Whatnot here. But if you go to YouTube, you'll see the full thing. And you can do that later. You can also do that later. Feedback on Whatnot on a computer or laptop. I cannot do that successfully. What am I? So yes, still the crazy guy. This is a 3D experience. So that is a really good question, STL, because when I've reopened past shows, I've only gotten the tail end of the chat, and now I don't even think I see that much. And also, if I raid somebody, it seems like it always completely washes away. But this will not make sense on YouTube. YouTube's live can get fun, but not as fun as live shopping. So, it's like they're cousins. I love them both, but if you want to buy stuff, that's what Whatnot's for. If you want to be, just watching, that's what YouTube's for. You can do both. But have you had a different experience where you were able to pull up some past comments? I use Android and PC, not Apple. MacPack. Yeah, shipping challenge. How do you put me in a box and ship me out? So yeah, 3D on Whatnot, watching YouTube videos while I'm also live on YouTube. And before, to test it all out, we can even do 4D, where I talk about the live stream. How fun is this? I'll check it again, and thank you for pointing that out. I've not noticed it. So the reason I would go back into a past show is really only to make sure I'm sending out the right items. I can't think of anything else. Even like poll questions, and I'll put up a poll so we can test. Poll questions don't stick, but I will put up a poll, and that's one of the things I can do and get some live responses. YouTube subscriber. How about that? YouTube sub. Perfect. Anything. Y and N. I'm keeping this ultra internet friendly. So yeah, it's just two totally different things. I have participated on YouTube lives, not necessarily hosting many, but more as a chat member. And when you get a good host who's very knowledgeable about a subject, it's really nice. Some of the hosts will actually go through and answer every question, and some kind of have a few picked out because it goes so fast. But on Whatnot, it is a constant conversation. So it's just a different thing. It's kind of like, I don't know a good analogy. I'll look for one in the Whatnot chat. But yeah, uh, I don't know what else to tell you. Otherwise, so this is me pre Whatnot. Look at what Whatnot has done to me, and for obvious reasons, if you're on Whatnot, you're going to say it's all improved, enhanced, so much better. And if you're on YouTube, I know there are people who have troll accounts, and you will put some nasty nasties down there, and we'll see who has the nastiest. I'm not encouraging it. We're just predicting the future. Because on some of the question threads, and I did put pre-warnings, I know some of those are not the person themselves asking the question. They're using a family member's account or just a troll account. Okay, it's like they always want to have the last word. So I let them, and you'll see there aren't many. There are not many, but you will see the ones that have really long comment chains sometimes will end with just, you've got to just say something not nice. And that is what the internet is made for. So that's why I send you to YouTube all the time. And if you're a nice person, you're shopping on Whatnot, you're YouTubing, you're probably doing 20 other things because you're very tech savvy. If you're a YouTube user, you're probably very, video savvy. And I don't know, I would say I would say you need to be both these days. But before Whatnot, I did not do any selling on any live selling. And actually, at this moment, when I am saving $4,000 with CVS, oh yes, that was my total for the year, and I did this in the fall of 2021. So I ended with a higher total for the total year. But yeah, that was kind of the inspiration. My family, my friends, they were saying, like, you need to tell people how to do this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll make a video. And then it didn't get watched. And then I'm like, okay, I'll make another video. And it kind of got watched. And then I'm like, well, I will make an award show. If it is going to require an award show to get people to watch this, I will do an award show, because CVS wasn't giving me the award and YouTube wasn't giving me the award. I didn't even know about Whatnot. I wasn't reselling any of it. So if it takes an award show to get good information out onto the internet, I'm happy to do that because I've done it, but I'm not offering to do that. I'm really not offering. I don't have time. I do this whole setup. Nobody has correctly guessed what the backdrop is. And I can leave it a secret. If it's that convincing, there is a YouTuber who has recently been suggested to me. And I think it's because he kind of has this idea of doing all these different creative things the way that I always have the same creativity floating around. And his channel is something design. Oh gosh. Okay, now this is embarrassing. Something design. I hope I think of it. Anyway, he does some things similar, but he's involved in the entertainment business. So when he's doing like his award show videos and making his custom tux and whatever, there's an actual legitimate purpose. This is really just for fun. Oh, now I did sell that jacket. So, hey, there you go. It was a business expense, but I was able to recoup some of that. So my accountant was happy. Everything else I think I still kept. Obviously, I have changed glasses. But yes, this is pre-Whatnot. You are seeing pre-Whatnot. Maybe I should auction something. I know people come in and out because they want to shop. That's the problem with doing these fun videos. It's like, you still have to give people stuff they can buy. Otherwise, they might wander into this weird place, like it's a river or a jungle. I can never remember the name. Um, and people just get lost there sometimes. So I'll start that there. And I'll just, you know what? I'll make this like super, super accessible. And okay, so I'm keeping an eye on the Whatnot chat. I'm not ignoring YouTube. I'm not able to keep up with the chat though. So I hope you love this stuff. This is my CVO savings video. It was fun. It was shot with like just like a action camera. It wasn't a GoPro brand, but it was just an action camera. So it is a little distorted, but in this situation where it was just me and like a little podium, it was fine. It was actually better. Stock my bin for these types of shows so I don't have to worry about auctions is a good plan. Yes, and I have done that. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the way I sell things, particularly on Whatnot. There are people who go on the internet and they put out their collection because it's very impressive and they want to show it off and get the highest price. When I show something, especially during a live show, I'm ready to sell it. So it's so funny because when I do my buy it nows, if I don't have a large supply, they sell, and that's not a problem. It's a good situation to have. I sold through a ton of Valentine's Day candy. After Valentine's, I got it on clearance. But actually Valentine's candy is some of the best you can get on clearance because it sits on the store shelf the least amount of time. So some really good stuff. And I did that as a live show. I tested that out. So I think it's fun because Whatnot has all these different features. It's fun to see how you can kind of multiply them. So we can do a flash sale. We can do giveaways. We can do auctions. We can do buy it now, even when we're not live or especially when we're live. So yes, having a fully stocked buy it now is such a good idea. That is something I hope I can outsource. I'll ask you to volunteer later. Oh, you did. So we have a testimonial. That's another thing that we can do on Whatnot. And I'm not trying to give like YouTube all the secrets. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being rude. I'm being rude to YouTube. But one of the things that we can do on Whatnot is we can do co-hosting, and a co-host does not need to be somebody who's a Whatnot seller or any particular title. It can just be somebody who's going to talk about a product or do a quick demo, and that's like perfect because it's like you hear the exact testimonial. It's not me rewording it, and it's not you searching it out in a bunch of different comments on the internet. Whatnot's comments are real because of the way that they have them restricted. It has to be a legit customer, and they have to do it through the app. And I think that's why they don't have the web access. I think they limit that because they don't want any fake reviews. So if you want to read all of my reviews, go right ahead. If you want to make a YouTube video, you could even be selling on Whatnot, reading all of my reviews. I would be totally okay with that. And I'm going to tell you why, because I also did a video called How to Get 100% Positive Feedback. Now, that was for a different platform, and they're still around, and they'll be around. I'm not telling you to shop anywhere other than Whatnot. At this point, it would really be self-defeating if you were to switch and do that right now. So stay on YouTube, stay on Whatnot, but it's this platform, and right here, I kind of had to retitle it a little bit. Oh, I'm not monetized, but they will still show ads. So there you go. I'm gonna let it happen. And this is actually a video that I explain different techniques that I used to get positive feedback. When I first started selling on the internet, I was getting twice the expected rate of positive feedback on a very large platform. And the reason I can say that is because I actually asked the company. They used to have a podcast where you could send in questions, and the expert said that's about 2 times what you would typically see. So just do what you're doing. But you know me, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it on video so everybody can appreciate this. So I go through the different techniques, and you can apply those to any e-commerce platform. I even mentioned that at the start of the video. The original way that I used YouTube videos, I would not do today. These are kind of like beginning, middle, end. And realistically, unfortunately, we all have such little time. You kind of have to do like end, beginning, and then fill in the middle. And that's how, like, YouTube videos get watched. The first half, maybe the last half. I used to always keep like the best stuff or a few secrets at the end, but it never gets seen. So like the coupon code for Whatnot, I put like right at the top so you could see it. I mean, it's like you've got to be super, super obvious. But this is edited more in like a progression format. So it would only appeal to sellers who really did want to improve their scores. And some people don't want to or need to. It's just, there have been brief periods where I haven't been 100%, and I'm still okay with 99%. I didn't like send out a desperate cry for help. It's okay. It's how the situation gets resolved in the customer's favor. And that's really what this, that matters. And that's what this video is explaining. But so fun. So if anybody ever wanted to know how do you get, a better seller score on Whatnot or any platform, you can just watch this video. Isn't that terrific? You don't have to watch the whole thing, and you don't have to try out every one of these suggestions. You could do just a couple and see if you notice any difference, because I was watching some, I like to sample different categories. I was watching some shoe sellers late last night / early this morning, and some of them were getting a little kind of down in the dumps because shoes were selling at prices they did not appreciate. They thought it was too little, too low. This is what happens during live auctions. And so anyway, I mentioned eventually to the seller, like, look, I have a video that tells you how to get a better feedback score, because that's one issue that the seller was having with getting upgraded to a premier shop. So to do a premier shop, you have to be a high volume seller. You're selling a lot on Whatnot, but you also have to have really high customer service metrics. And if you would, Jay, new here, don't have, well, of course I have my name everywhere. My name is Stay Home, and you can also call me by my full name, which is Stay Home to Shop, or some people just call me Stay. Whatever you want to do. Yes, so consistently throughout my internet video life and going forward, it's Stay Home. There you go. And it's easy to remember. Like once you memorize it, you don't even have to think about it. But okay, hold on. Designing the Dream, I think, is the channel, and you reminded me of that, because it was like just like a similar personality. So this is a guy who does a lot of different design projects, and he's put a lot of work into YouTube videos, and they're really good. They're not getting the views that they probably should, but he'll figure out how to make that work. And last year, when I figured out I wasn't going to be able to seamlessly or on one app do YouTube and Whatnot, I had to pick one. And so I figured Whatnot. I had to pick Whatnot, because Whatnot, for the time I put into it, at least I am getting some pay for something. And YouTube, I put a lot of time into it, but I'm not monetized. I don't get any advertising dollars. So I have to want to make these videos enough that I think it's important that people be able to watch them and that the content is useful in order to do them. And so that is why I take your feedback to heart. Because if you said I watched the first 15 seconds and decided I was going to like subscribe to somebody else, I would take that for serious. Good for you. And that's the other thing. YouTube has so many different archetypes or prototypes that a lot of times you kind of see a lot of similar people, similar shows, similar styles. And frankly, I'm not quite fitting into any category. YouTube would like, does anybody know? This is a good whatnot question because you people are in sales and business. Does anybody know what YouTube would like me to zoom in on for content purposes? And the way that they do that is they start, subtly suggesting things, the videos you watch. And then when I go into upload in studio, they'll also start suggesting things. And that, like, did you see this video? Did you think about this? Da 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 da. But they've gotten to the point where they've basically told me, we've got it down. We know what you should be showing people. And I laughed. I did not do like my normal voice. I would have screamed. I laughed. That was funny. That was really funny. So if anybody knows what YouTube content YouTube thinks, and they have a lot of data because they're constantly, there's either 5 or 50 billion hours. I think it's 5 billion hours of video each day that gets watched on YouTube, I believe. You can always fact check me though, but I think it's 5 billion hours. So they know a lot. But I just, I'm not. I needed to focus more than anything, and so I focused on YouTube. But then when I kind of got more comfortable with whatnot, I was like, I can probably take some of this and put it on YouTube and make it fun, or fun enough that people could watch it. There are always going to be new sellers on every platform. And, when I was starting any platform, it's like you're a sponge. And sometimes you don't understand if you're picking up a lot of, dust and dirt in the information that you're getting. And most often with whatnot, I don't think it's malicious. I think it's that the person isn't really fully aware or familiar with something, but they're still trying to get to answer a question. So I've noticed that occasionally. And one of the giveaways is when they say, I don't know. So like, I don't know if YouTube gets $5 or $50 billion or 5 or 50 billion hours of video each day. So obviously I am not a expert in that field, but I can definitely tell you about whatnot shipping rates. I have those memorized. And you will too if you watch the video. Okay, so this is a fun one. There is another shopping platform called Mercari that I did minimally sell on, and I'm gonna highlight this. At the time I tested out Mercari, my eBaby just charged too much for small lightweight packages. That was the only reason I ever even explored anywhere else. I'm the kind of person where once I've got my favorite and I've got it down, I'm not going anywhere. So the only reason I ever even looked away from my eBaby, even for a second, was because eBaby's small lightweight package rates were just not going to work with what I sell. And at that time, Mercari did have really discounted shipping, and they had even more options. So I did test it out. I did sell some stuff. It was a lot of fun. Here I'm telling you either how to shop for free or something. I'm telling you how to get designer merchandise. Oh, that is a popular category. So yeah, I'm showing you how to do that. I forget the exact script on this one. But yeah, I've explored Mercari. I've talked about eBaby. I've definitely done a lot more whatnot videos. And the reason it's easiest to do whatnot videos is because whatnot is video. So we're starting there. It's not video that I have to create separately. And so with other websites, I do have to create video separately. And people don't really like staring at a computer screen for very long. The reason I know that is people actually just left the room. We have up to the second feedback. So we're gonna move away from Mercari. But yeah, that was fun. And I think it just luxury brands for free. Amazing. Now, Whatnot does have a new user promotion that basically you could consider free. if you use an iPhone, they will cover your shipping, so that's as free as it gets. I cannot tell you what taxes are wherever you are, but yeah, they give you $15 to start shopping. Use the link in the description box. That's how you can get started now. Test it out, see how much you like it, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's okay. This is why we have so many different options. Not everybody loves every platform or every feature on every platform. Now, where was I going after this? I didn't really have, so up now, what I'm doing is scrolling through the most recent videos. This is a fun one. So this, let me play it. This style is what I first started with, not the advertising, but the style, and it was just a webcam. And it didn't help. I mean, it got information out, but it wasn't really engaging. Hello, Tristina's Attic. This is the 4D version. Tristina is somebody everybody in this room should follow, and particularly on YouTube. Tristina does art shows every Sunday and gives a lot of really good information. Also does sell on Whatnot, but does her shows in such a way that people who want the art education and information can just focus on that. You're not going to be pitched a sale every 5 seconds. And people who want to shop, she reserves time for that. So it's a very good way to split the show. But the more of Tristina's videos that I have watched, I have liked, I would say watch on YouTube, period. Because yes, while you're live, absolutely be on Whatnot, because you can see the chatting, you can ask questions, and she does a giveaway, and you get all the fun goodies. But after the fact, you want to be watching on YouTube. You should be watching replays on YouTube. This is true of any of your favorite sellers. Go to YouTube and watch them there. Whatnot has taken the feature away where you could watch past shows. So I just want you guys to know that that is a good option you have. And we have an artist in the room. Do you want to co-host for a second so we can really see your artwork? This is the fun stuff if you volunteer. And even if you don't volunteer. So over here, this is like my work shipping station, cleaned up a bit, quite a bit. I think I'm probably blocking for YouTube. I need to switch sides here. So yeah, this is my workstation that's been cleaned up a lot, and I'm just sort of packing and getting a few tasks done, not focusing very well, and then filling in with like helpful hints or things that I've learned. So if you really want to watch the Whatnot videos as kind of like a progression or like a mini documentary, you could just play the playlist. And even if you don't have the time to sit there and watch them all, you can put it on repeat, and you can put it on an iPad or like a bedroom TV. Whenever you've got a few seconds, you can catch up and you can see different snippets, and they're different enough that you will probably be able to tell if it was early in my Whatnot days or if it's more recent. So this would have been like the earliest videos that I tried to do, but I wasn't running a show while I was doing this video. See, that is like juggling a different ball. Okay, here we go. Now, one thing that works really well on YouTube is shorts. Shorts work really well to bring in new viewers, and people who watch shorts don't always watch long videos. So it is speaking to a bigger audience. How long have I been on Whatnot? Should I admit it? I've been on Whatnot for about a full year. I started last January, about mid-January, so a full year. And YouTube, my first video went up in 2021, really the fall of 2021. You can still watch my first video if you want to. If you really, really want to. And this is one of the reasons, because what you're going to find is when I was doing my shopping tutorials, I noticed that there's a big difference between people who are trying to help you and people who are trying to sell you. And so I was being very over-explanatory and truthful. So everything you're finding on my channel, you can fact check and verify. Oh, good for you! So let's bring that together. Now we've got Gin Deals. Gin Deals also has her own channel. It's like if you're on Whatnot, you kind of have to have a channel because if you want to do the live streams, you know, you need that feature. For many, I'm doing it the hard way. And so Gin Deals was the first to bring Bath and Body Works, which is the best-selling beauty brand in America, to Whatnot. She's had amazing success, explosive growth, just really like a true inspiring story, but it hasn't been without a few road bumps, and she does talk about those in her videos. And so I just really love you know, how far she's come. Her goal was to have a six-figure a year business, and she is now on track to having a seven-figure, $1 million business. And the faster she gets there, the better it is for everybody. So Gin Deals is somebody who started with zero day one and has really built up her business. That is one of the fun things about Whatnot, is you'll hear those stories. On some of the other platforms, they're probably there, but I don't know them. But yeah, I could definitely tell you, Gin Deals is a success story. I could point to Tristina's Attic is definitely a success story, expanding the art category. Oh my gosh. And for the Ship Show, I try to bring you experts in different categories or different knowledge groups, because I don't pretend that I know how to do everything. And it's important when we do the Ship Show, it's a 1-hour show on Thursdays, every other Thursday. And the goal is to get your questions answered fast, so you can get back to doing what you do best and making the most money, which is selling. Okay, so if we can get you the answer fast, you can get back to selling. And I really love that. There are people who will always kind of come each week, and you're welcome to. And then there are people who I've only ever seen once or twice, and I'm like, you know what? I think they figured it out, whatever their question was. And so I'll sometimes peek into other people's rooms and see how well they're doing. Some people have done amazing, like really, really well. I'm not taking credit. I'm just complimenting the fact that you can go from zero to hero in a very short time window, because Whatnot is an expanding platform for online selling. And the strength is the live video feed. Having that reliably and timed to the nanosecond, going all over the world, because we run auction clocks. I mean, that is kind of amazing. So I'm very impressed. I wish I would have had earlier knowledge of Whatnot. I'll do a giveaway for you guys if you're coming in on Whatnot. I don't want to shoot people out. This is really about how you can have the most fun on both platforms. You can have fun on Whatnot. You can have fun on YouTube. And fun for some is nasty notes. So save those for YouTube. Put them on YouTube. Okay, so there should be a giveaway running. But yeah, so, but then I'm not an OG on Whatnot either. Somebody asked how long I've been doing this. And stories from the OG days, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how you guys managed to do that. Kind of like this setup maybe, where you can be 4D. I don't know how you would manage to do that with the current technology, but you could probably figure a way around that. One of the things they weren't able to do originally was to run a giveaway auction and also auction a item for sale. Well, a giveaway is just an entry. You don't have to make any purchase, by the way. So you couldn't do both. And for that reason, some sellers still will not sell things during their giveaway time. I'm always happy to sell things because it's not even me. It's the computer, the platform. The platform is figuring out what you guys need and want and are going to buy. Where do you see them? They won't need me. But this is a short video for Gin Deals. Gin Deals came on and did an interview on the Ship Show. I used some of that to do a short for Gin Deals. I do have that in the buy it now. If people are selling on the platform and they want to get a short video out, she can have that and use that wherever she wants it. And also, she can just send them to watch the one that's there if she doesn't want to do reposting and all that fun stuff. Whatever. It's video. It's the internet. And that's how you get the most customers, right? Is you go on the internet. That's how you get the most likes. And so on YouTube, there's this little button that kind of looks like a little thumbs up thing, and you push that. That's one thing you always want to do is push the like button. Even if it's a maybe, just push the up button. And so Dollar General, some of these videos are a little bumpy. Some of my shopping sprees don't always go very well, but anytime they're having a huge clearance, I am going to show up and see what I can find. So if you want to see what I can find, oh look, those are 10-cent after Christmas items. Fantastic. But I've had good and not ideal shopping at Dollar General. Dollar General has the most number of stores. So CVS, one of the reasons I chose CVS, just personal preference alone, but really CVS supplies 1 in 4 people, 25%, with some product or service. So I would have guessed that if I'm going to make CVS shopping tutorials, people will want them, find them, need them, watch them. Not so much. I know. I even recruited Doogie Howser here. I even included some clips of Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, we're really pulling out the big stars. But yeah, that one got 757 views. So my most popular one is when I talk about how I got a free beauty club item. And there we go, showing receipts. I know I shouldn't have to, but you can go back and rewatch and pause every video. I show receipts. Yes, because every one of these was made truthfully. What often happens in a lot of internet videos is things get overblown and over-exaggerated. And really, on the internet, you kind of have to hype it up, just basics. However, one thing that I think is a little shady, like super shady. I should go get my palm frond. So anytime I'm saying something shady, I can just hold it up. That would be such a good prop. So imagine that it might come in later, and what would happen is, like a lot of these extreme couponing and shopping tutorial videos. First of all, people were not making them about online deals. They were making them about running inside of stores. And they were double counting their savings. So what they would do is they would count the money they didn't have to pay because they used store rewards and coupons to get their total down. And they would also then take any rewards that were earned and imagine Jay Style. Fantastic. You never told me if you wanted to co-host. Okay, so they would take the future rewards that weren't redeemed when they bought the items, and they would use that and say, well, I saved that money too. So they got it for FREE. They used to put that on every thumbnail, and it was just so misleading. And you could watch hours and hours of videos, and you could look at your bank statement at the end of the month and have no money. Because you can't do both. So I counted my rewards as I redeemed them, not as I earned them. But yeah, I was earning rewards along the way. That's part of any good shopping experience. And with Whatnot has introduced rewards since I joined. Originally, I had to... You're thanking me because you don't want to co-host tonight. No problem. But an artist should always be ready to show off your stuff. You know that. So I'll message you, or you'll message me and send me some art cards or something. And let's see. Because the art category needs to be a lot bigger. The art category should be ginormously huge on Whatnot. It really should. And thrift store intern. Did you get a full-time job at a thrift store yet? I'm teasing you. Watch on YouTube. Watch on YouTube. The full best view is going to be on YouTube. But every one of these videos that I'm talking over and I'm blocking, you can go back and watch on any device you want to, anywhere in the world, whether or not I'm in the mood to sell you anything that day. But I always have items you can purchase on Whatnot, as well as other internet platforms. So you just search "stay home to shop," all one word, common spelling. And the art category has so much potential. Sounds like real estate. Look at all the potential. We have a potential beauty pageant winner here. Potential. And if it was free, and I can show you a receipt. So there were a few occasions where I was able to hold up a $0 receipt and show people, yeah, it is possible. I played by the rules. I used the correct combination of deals and rewards, and I could sometimes walk out with, sit at home, but complete my transaction with a $0 subtotal. Please tell me, anybody, please, on the Whatnot side, if you get, let's say you're a new Whatnotter and you spend $15 because they give you $15 to spend. I don't think you have to do it all in one sitting. However, let's make this easy. So you spend your $15 and you're using an iPhone, so Whatnot pays the shipping to get it to you. Would you be charged sales tax? Like, does anybody know what that transaction looks like? Because there's no way I can do that now. I've already been on Whatnot for a while, so I don't know. But some states you do have to pay sales tax, and even down to the localities. And that's especially true in my general vicinity. Like, every zip code has a different tax rate. But I live in a state, one of the few ones, that if it's a $0 subtotal, it's a $0 tax rate. And we are seeing that some people did pay taxes. So that is another good assurance that Whatnot is properly doing things. That is a good thing. Pretending it's not the way it is, it's the way we want it to be, that's what gets people in trouble. So extreme couponing videos, there are still a few doing them, and some of them are really good people, like genuinely nice people, but using couponing math, it does not work, because you can't use the current coupon and then subtract any future rewards that you didn't redeem already and say that you got something for free. It doesn't work that way. You've got to pick. So I always did the redeemed rewards, and it worked out pretty well for me for $4,000 in savings. Oh, I wish I could hold this up. If this goes really, really well, I'll screenshot it or something, and I can show you on my device like how many thousands since then I've saved at CVS. But so anyway, I did. Oh, this was a good one. Actually, let me get out of the way. Look at that. Look at that guy. He is stylish. Oh my gosh. He's even got his little background there. Oh, how cutesy. I do still have the light. I think I ate the pumpkin or made pumpkin soup with it, and the flowers were sold, and the basket they were sitting in were sold, which is one of the funny things. So I would sell some of my set decorations, not out of like financial desperation, but because if I'm not using it anymore, I want to make room for new stuff. I'm not sure if you can see me or not see me. So I would resell some of the set decorations, and then some would sell like instantly, and others would be like crickets, no way, no thank you, no price. That basket for some reason was very difficult to sell, even though it had nothing wrong with it. And in my holiday video, let's get away from shopping for one quick second, because not only can you buy yourself stuff, you can buy me gifts from other people's live streams. Feel free to do that. You just have to know my Whatnot name, which is Stay Home to Shop, and all one word, common spelling. And the other thing is I show you guys how to tie the perfect bow. So I'm leaving the CVS playlist. It's all there. You can watch it as many times as you choose. But I did see I still have that video somewhere. I still have the how to tie a perfect bow. I might have to search for it because it's quite dated, but I did see it. It's not one of the most popular ones. Let's see. And then I looked back on that one, and that was another situation where I would not do the editing the same because I should have started with the end, then did the beginning, then you kind of filled in with the middle. But here I'm doing it in, logical sequence or forward sequence. And okay, so if you want to, you can even watch the videos in reverse. I don't plan to re-edit this, but you can watch the last part and then go to the first part and the second part, so you can have the full experience. If you're the person who loves to see what happens and decide if it's going to be worth watching, just go to the end of the video, watch those few seconds, and then you can decide if you want to watch the whole thing. But on the last bow that I tie, I actually have arrows on the ribbon, and I'm much better about explaining the direction of the ribbon and all that good stuff. So yeah, I did a video on how to tie the perfect bow, and that was fun. I've tried to recreate that live. Really funny. Not going to work because I'm doing it basically backwards and trying to show people on the camera. So this past year around Christmas, there was one show I said free gift wrap. If you buy something, I'll wrap it for you. If you don't buy anything, I'll send you some gift wrap. And so, but it was fun because we let the audience choose, what paper, what ribbon, what decoration. There were two different gifts that looked very different. And so I was trying to tie it, and it's a mess. So anyway, so I probably wouldn't try to do that one live because you kind of have to pay attention and know which direction you're headed. But the idea is that the ribbon in the back isn't going to twist; it's going to lay flat, and that is something that people just struggle with. But once you learn how to tie the perfect bow, you should be good. Moms, watch your kids, watch your sons. If they know how to tie a necktie and they know how to tie a ribbon, they are going to be dangerous. They are going to be the popular guy. Fortunately for me, I didn't know how to tie a perfect bow until after college. I did know how to tie a necktie in high school. Yeah, so I was on my way, but wasn't quite there yet. So the perfect bow. I'll run something else for you guys to shop. I know people are like, how do you expect anybody to buy something if you just keep talking about all these different YouTube things? But it's really the whatnot world that opened my eyes to YouTube. I don't want to say I was ready to give up because I'm not ever giving up something I'm good at and I know I can do. It's just I might not do it for another year or another year or another year, like tying the perfect bow. I might not do it until next Christmas. But the whatnot shipping video and all of the unadvertised, unpromoted views that it's gotten and all the questions that it's raised and everything, it's just like, there is an audience of whatnot folks who try to find this information on YouTube and they're not finding it. If they're finding it, sometimes they're finding the oldest because it has the most views, so it is popular. But the older it is, with regard to shipping, it's less and less reliable because Whatnot has changed its shipping a few times over the course of the years. I started when it was basically this format, so it's really easy for me to explain. But there were totally different shipping rates. And I assume if people are leaving, they're actually just going over to YouTube because why wouldn't you? Oh. And I've got 2 dinner plates running for auction. How about that? You know what I'll do? I'll use an old fashioned trick. I will do a giveaway while I run an auction item, so I can go get my shady palm leaf. And there's another prop that I have that I really I it's so fun. Yeah, just wait till you guys see it. Options. Start the giveaway. There you go. Okay. Uh, Sorry, you're shaking. It's not you, it's the phone and it's not on the stand very securely. Okay, so I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. One of the rules on Whatnot, kind of like YouTube, but definitely on Whatnot, is never stop talking, no matter what. You definitely want to keep talking. You're always going to be talking. So you want to keep talking. And because you're going to be talking, people know you're still there. You haven't given up. You're not crying in the corner. Oh my gosh, I've seen a few moments. Okay, so here we are. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for waiting. I'm sure this sounds much better. Now you can hear me, and you've got a really good chance of getting in the giveaway, and you've also got a really good chance of being my newest subscriber if you're on YouTube. So uh, okay, so let me throw shade. I like to be slightly shady. I'm not totally above that. Let me throw some shade. I need some inspiration. What should I talk shade about? I'll just wait. I'll wait for some creative inspiration. Actually, this was suggested to me by another Whatnot seller who saw my graphic, and I can give you a better look at it if you want to see it. But it kind of, she says, it goes with the motif. So why don't you have somebody like fan you? And I did not get a local volunteer for that, unfortunately. Um, so Tamara, please just let me know. Is that your zip code? I've seen so many people putting their zip codes, I think, in their usernames. Totally okay if you're doing it. I just want to know. I'm not even telling anybody her zip code. And for like examples, I always use like 90210, Beverly Hills 90210. So even now, even though I'm just Beverly adjacent, I would probably say 90210. The best part about the internet is most people do not fact check anything. Oh my gosh. Well, that was the other problem I was having when I was trying to do shopping videos is there were a lot more people doing coupon videos and in-store couponing and online couponing. There were just different rules, different calculations. However, I understood both, and when I was able to find some good online deals, I was all for it. And I will tell you, the free beauty item that actually that I bought at CVS for $0, that actually was suggested to me by a woman who used to do in-store shopping videos and hasn't done them in a while. Free coupons by Karen, or free coupons with Karen, and I don't know that she's updating her channel or whatever, but she mentioned just offhand, she just mentioned it. She said, check your account, see if you've got these coupons, because you could get a free beauty item. So I did. And I didn't have to walk to the store, and I didn't have to get in the cold, and I didn't have to face the rain. But I was able to get my free beauty item, and I was also able to get some other things at, some pretty nice discounts and deals. So that's not super shady, is it? Aubrey Ann. Okay, so another thing I can tell you, for those of you unfamiliar with the coupon world, there was an occasion, a lot of people run the same scenarios week after week. They promote the same, coupon combos at the same store, week after week, and they just kind of put it on repeat. So when somebody finds a different combo or a new combo or something, they sometimes think it's theirs, but in reality, it's shopping, okay? Somebody could walk behind me at a store and pick up every single item I put in my basket and put all the same coupons on the counter. And well, congratulations, you. I'm intentionally blurring people's screen names because you just don't know how far the internet can carry. But you know who you are. And so I saw an incident or an exchange between a woman who had done a coupon scenario that a different couponer also did, and these two weren't friends or connected in any way. And so the one couponer who I actually like, I like small couponer. She doesn't appear on camera, or at least she didn't used to. She was about getting the easy deals that didn't require you to pay a whole lot. Okay, so she came up with a deal and she said, if you use my deal, please give, credit, whatever. They didn't use her voice or her video. Because the person who also promoted that same, deal was really offended, and Grandma's Great Deals, you know how competitive shopping can be sometimes, was really offended and really went off the deep end and really let her have it. The microphone is not for sale. But that was one of the quote unquote funny coupon moments, was when there was this dispute or disagreement. Oh my gosh. Now, I will also tell you, I used to do in-store CVS shopping trips. So that was when I could get out of the house. And also, there was a store that was 24 hours near me. So I would see the night crew. And one of them pulled me aside and he's like, I'm always impressed by the combinations you choose or whatever. And he's like, if we're ever out of stock, just let me know. I'll try to find it in the stock room. I know what's back there. I'm like, thanks. That's awesome. Amazing. And then we talked more and more, and he was a college kid. And so I'm like, yeah, if you can find a way to use couponing, go for it. Nothing was instantly clicking for me. But it was funny. And so he mentioned that he didn't see a lot of people do the same types of purchases that I was doing, because I was getting creative, following the rules. And it was funny. Actually, oh my gosh, I got to show you that one where I actually go through and I do the unboxing, because that's another one where I just completely did this in reverse order. So it didn't get as much love as it should have. Where is it? This is in my CVS. I gotta go back to my CVS playlist. Sorry. CVS deals online. Let's see. Oh, it is the Doogie Howser one. Okay, cool. So this one, I can only do so much. Is this my talk show? Well, would you like to co-host? We could have a talk show conversation. This is my 3D show. So this is live on Whatnot. Well, I'm also live on YouTube, and I'm showing YouTube. And so we're 3D. And no worries if it's not a good time tonight. So this is a video that I did, and I was going to tell you that one of the coupons I explain in detail, I think. It may have been the free beauty item, but I really think it might be this one, because the wording on the digital coupon was not the way it was working. It wasn't a quote-unquote glitch, because there is a coupon that was supposed to do what it did, but if you read the way it read, it was basically switching 50% for $50. So you could save up to $50. And it said you can save 50%. And so it might have been the other one. So I thought, let's get as close to $50 as we can, right? And stores will sometimes price merchandise to eliminate or exclude some coupons. So that's another headache and aggravation. Shopping on Whatnot is so simplified. I'm like telling the story about how I had to walk to school uphill both days wearing a necktie. Yes, we had a dress code that required me to wear a necktie. And now it's just like you swipe. When you're ready to pay the price, you swipe. And when you're ready to find out how to do your shipping and try to get your best bundled pricing, you watch that YouTube video. That's what you do. So skip all the in between. Too much swiping this week. Well, it is Sunday. So let us hope that you're referring to last week. Oh no. Now, I did often, when I was doing extreme shopping at CVS, I did often wait for the clock to go to 12:01, because that was when, if anything was ever going to overlap or over discount, it was going to be that first hour. And I could even tell you how many transactions there were per day, because I measured order counts per hour. So I was ready to be third or fifth in line. I did not want to miss out on that one. You're never really going to be first, or at least, okay, so on the internet, if you are the first, which I kind of am with some of my past video, it doesn't always take off right away. But if it's been tested, it works, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, so there were digital coupons that CVS would have on their app, and it wasn't worded properly. It was a little fuzzy. And then also, this was when they used to have the CVS receipts that were like as tall as I am, a little taller. Does anybody remember those? You can tap the screen on Whatnot. If you remember those, you can push the like button on YouTube. That's about as good as it gets. Oh gosh, I am feeling old. But there were coupons on the bottom, and sometimes those were a little, I don't know, a little sloppy, some of the store printed coupons, because it didn't always tell you all the rules and restrictions. And sometimes you would get price disqualified from using a coupon if the item didn't cost at least a certain amount. And then you would get price disqualified if the item cost more than a certain amount, depending on what coupon it was. So yeah, it was really tricky at the beginning of this decade. I mean, we're talking about years ago. Now we have just worked out this magical solution where I can be all over the world. So who's ready to do some shopping? You can use a coupon code on Whatnot. There is one in the description box on YouTube. I want you all to commingle. meet your friends. And if you're a seller on Whatnot and you want to promote your chat in the chat comments, go right ahead. Or you want to promote your show in the chat comments, go right ahead. I am very okay with people promoting their shows because we're all selling stuff on the internet. So this is not the time to be shy. I'm a very basic, straightforward person, right? You know, stay home to shop, pretty basic, right? So if you would like to promote your show, I didn't change my name to Stay Home to Sell, but I found out I had to because I didn't know what else to do with some of the stuff. And it was starting to get a little bit out of hand. I don't think I ever really showed how out of hand it got, but it was getting out of hand. The table that I used for one of my first Whatnot live streams, it like that whole corner area of the room was like buried in packages that I didn't have time to open before Christmas. So I did make a resolution that I was going to open all my purchases before the end of the year. And so I even tried to make a video about that. But by that time I was done. I was like, enough, enough. So yeah. So the coupons are not really as available, accessible, or um, worth as much. And so I don't often do a lot of coupon shopping, but hey, it's not beneath me. If I see a good coupon and I can use it, I will. I'm gonna put down the mic because I kind of think you can hear me. Okay, that's slightly shady. We'll go with slight shade. But I love that. Oh, and I do love the YouTube drama. There's always so much YouTube drama. Do you guys know YouTube drama about Whatnot? And I feel like I can say this because these two people do not have any affiliation now with Whatnot. They do not. Um, well, let me ask: Are you also watching on YouTube? Because you're gonna need to get on YouTube. Thank you. So anyway, there was okay, there was a Whatnot seller who apparently had some issues and has been removed from the platform. And Whatnot will tell you that you don't just disappear. It'll actually say this person has had their account terminated for violating community standards. They will even tell you if they're on suspension. They're worded a little bit differently, so I don't always assume the worst. And frankly, now I'm second guessing myself. So remind me at the end of this story to go back to the why somebody might not be on suspension but think they are. Okay, so anyway, there was a woman who used to sell a lot of Disney stuff on Whatnot, and and there's this other YouTube person who actually, and we could actually just pull up a sample video. We could do that, and so she makes a hate video about her every day. She does not like this former Whatnot seller. Okay, you don't have to like everybody. Apparently, their beef was the Whatnot seller who recently left had been the reason, so to speak, that the other one got kicked off the platform. So maybe they like to hang out at the same beach or something. I don't know. Oh, it's getting shady. Somebody needs to buy some stuff. So anyway, so the YouTube hater, she was just going after this woman. What do I have? Oh, I've got antique dinner plates. Okay, there you go. We'll start those. There we go. Anyway, she was going after her. And so the woman was first temporarily suspended and then permanently removed. So that's what happened. I assume everybody is innocent unless you can show me that there is a court order, there is an actual case that has been decided. I'm not going to call somebody something they haven't been proven guilty of. Now, most people aren't that reserved, so she was calling her a lot of not so nice things, and she said that she was scamming and all that and then some. And so it got to the point where the account got reviewed, and obviously the seller has been removed. The other reason I'm going to assume innocence is because sometimes when platforms and sellers don't agree on something, they don't necessarily, it doesn't mean that something inappropriate or, improper did take place. Sometimes it can be for business planning and decisions. There's a seller who came over from, well, how do I say this sweetly? He had to leave his e-baby behind. He was told he could never hold his e-baby again. No one in his family would ever be allowed to touch e-baby. But he's got a multi-million-dollar business now on Whatnot, and no issue that I've heard of. So, and apparently there was some misunderstanding or disagreement about having to provide documentation he had never been required to provide in the past. That's his version. I don't have their full side. I don't need their full side. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he did anything that would be reportable or whatever. And I'm not going to accuse somebody of anything unless I have enough information that I could go to my local police station and file a police report and say, I want this prosecuted. I'm not going to accuse anybody of anything because you don't know really what is going on. But the internet is the internet. So the former seller didn't do as well on Whatnot. Now decided they were going to be selling on oh, it's like a fancy. It's a fancy. A fancy place. What do the Brits call that when something's fancy? Does anybody know? There's like a British word. It almost rhymes with Josh. So she was going to start selling stuff there. And before she could even really get started, the YouTuber, she didn't pause. She went on full blast and started going all out on every not nice thing she could say about her, even though, because there's a transition period, she couldn't have been doing anything yet. Like, you've at least got to give them a week or two, you know. But no, she was ready to upload a video every day. And I can tell you her name, but I don't know if I should say the name. Should I say the name? Or should I just allude to the name so you can find it very easily if you searched? Because they'll do misspellings. They'll pull up the same thing. So if you type stay at home to shop, you'll actually get brought in to stay home to shop. And thank you for reminding me that the reason I needed a reminder about suspensions and all that fun stuff, I personally have not had that. I'm not saying it could never happen. It can happen. And sometimes business decisions mean that a platform will just choose to say, you know, no, no more. Giving a lifetime ban is pretty excessive. However, sometimes these platforms, they really know how to hit them hard. So if I get a little, you know, like tap on the shoulder, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. We'll get that fixed. No problem. Not gonna let that get any worse or whatever. And it's pretty easy to do if you're selling actively. You know, your numbers will always show your performance. They'll average in your favor if you're selling. So yeah, I haven't had that situation, so I can only imagine. When somebody came in and asked a question, I was doing a community show, not a selling show. I was doing a community show, and they said, how do I get in touch with Whatnot customer service? Apparently there were some restrictions not allowing them to purchase or sell anything on the account, but they were obviously able to get into Whatnot. They said they couldn't purchase, and they said they couldn't sell. I don't know. And I didn't even look at the profile or anything because it's not my deal. I don't work for Whatnot. I'm not here to tell you if you did something right or wrong. It's, you know, I don't get that duty, and I'm not volunteering. No, I will not be the arbitrator or mediator or anyone in the middle. So they were asking about that, and I was trying to give some helpful information, but it makes me think they weren't suspended, because my immediate response was, well, if you got suspended, they'll tell you for how long. So go check your email or whatever. But I don't think they were suspended, because I think if they were suspended, they wouldn't be able to come onto the platform. Am I completely making that up? And I didn't check their seller page, so I don't know. But yeah, that was interesting. Not as fun as the dueling, you know, Disney divas, ex-Disney divas or whatever. I almost wanted to ask, like, well, what are you gonna make videos about now that she's not selling on Whatnot? Like, what are you gonna what are you who are you gonna cover? She's had a handful of people she's disliked, but nobody as much as the woman who recently has switched over. And anywho, so yeah, so let's get some more fun inspiration going. So you're all subscribed to YouTube. Good for you. Do you ever get an alert? Now my videos don't go out on a frequency schedule, so it could be, 1 week you'll get 3 new videos, and then the next week nothing. But if you sell on Whatnot, or if you just want to get started on YouTube, I recommend using the Shorts format, because there's a tool called YouTube Create, and it's a free app. And once you get used to it, you can basically do a fully edited video. So like this video was done in DaVinci Resolve, which is a studio quality video editing package. You don't need all that. Please don't do that. When I was back in 2021, you needed that, because there weren't like free tools. And I will talk about e-commerce and YouTube also. I will 100%. That is a super shady area. So if you want to invite some friends to get in on that one, oh yeah, that hit my sweet spot. Okay, so I had to learn how to do full professional level editing, and YouTube Create, it's not meant to do like hour-long videos or whatever, but you can definitely do a short video. You probably even do, I know what the length limit is. I'm going to be real. But you could do a little bit longer than a short. And all you need is your phone. You just need your phone, and you can pull up the videos on your phone, and you can upload it straight to YouTube, and it'll all be in the correct settings and everything. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. And the first variety of this was not awesome. So YouTube Create definitely got awesome. It's not as easy, quote unquote, as TikTok, but here's where I can't speak. I haven't used TikTok since way back when they said it might get banned, because I thought, hey, if the government doesn't want me to have something on my phone, it's not going to be on my phone. Okay, it's getting super shady. Are you sure you're the only folks who want to hear this? Because I am going to talk about shopping on YouTube. Obviously, YouTube is probably they are the largest video provider in the world, and one of the biggest information sources in the world. And they do offer some shopping features. You have to qualify for them. Basically, you have to have a certain number of subscribers, get a certain number of views, whatever the rules are, and you can just search for those. And the way that I've seen those used is at the start of videos, people will basically sell their merch. Like if I was going to sell like a shirt with the Stay Home logo on it, it would be like off to the side, and it would be like, oh, you guys can go get a Stay Home shirt. The good news is I've never made one. As of now, I've never made one. So if you did buy one, let me know quickly, because I will put a quick stop to people using my trademark. Yes, it has happened. And it doesn't need to happen. They can get their own trademark. They don't need mine. So anywho, they'll just do like merch. I don't think it's intended to do like affiliate links where you send people to different websites and then they get a kickback or commission, whatever's legally allowed. But they get a little something if the person buys something. I don't think it's that. I think it's that they can do like their own little merch selection. And hey, that's fine. I mean, people want merch sometimes, and if people really want merch, they'll probably find it on Whatnot eventually. Did anybody watch? Oh my gosh! Did anybody watch the series Jury Duty? It was originally an Amazon series, and then they made it free, so you don't even have to be in Amazon Prime. But did anybody watch that one? Did anybody watch that? It is such a funny show, and I don't need to spoil it for you because it's definitely worth. It is worth watching. But let's just say that there was a large batch of merch that was misprocessed, misprinted, and that created a lot of problems. And so people ended up in court. I'm just going to leave it there. But like, yeah, that would be like perfect. Like, don't waste those shirts. You could sell them on Whatnot. If they were truly offensive or truly harmfully defective, the answer is absolutely not. But it's fictional. The misprinting is not really what it's translated into. But yeah, somebody could sell a pallet of merch stuff. Oh, hold on, not to talk shade. Cool Kicks. Anybody who watches Cool Kicks, they do their own products. I've seen a lot of things pop up with their brand, and it's not always a logo. Sometimes it just says Cool Kicks. So they've got some kind of supply relationship there, but that's taking me totally away from YouTube, because YouTube and shopping. YouTube could potentially be very helpful in shopping. I'm not 100% sure how they would make that transition though. And Whatnot and YouTube have a good connection because Whatnot will allow its videos to instantly go live on YouTube. But other than that, Whatnot does not encourage shopping outside of Whatnot, and that's fine. I don't think they're as extreme with it as some people suggest, but it's like I don't even need to tiptoe near that line. Because you can be buying stuff from Whatnot now, buying things on Whatnot now for me. And the other thing you could be doing, this is really a lot of fun, is people think they can't give me tips anymore. Oh no, I'm going to tell you the secret way. You go over to the left side of your screen, correct? No, it's the right side. Well, anyway, it's near your right hand if you're holding your phone. And there's three arrows pointing up and it says promote, and you push that button and you can decide if you'd like me to receive any amount between $1 and $100 or if you want to do a show boost. The show boost feature, let's get some feedback if anybody's listening in the Whatnot chat. This is really the only place it would matter. Does anybody have any preference on show boost? Because I have experience, and it's not even shady. I'm just getting used to like shading myself. This is so much fun. Kind of like my mic. Oh my gosh, I love my mic. I love my mic. I got the idea to do the mic. Couple different inspirations. One was Court TV, where Gwyneth Paltrow was being sued by a guy who said that she ran into him on a ski slope and it injured him. And there was a female attorney. I think they even did a Saturday Night Live skit on this one. They did it somewhere. But she, the original's funny. She like stands up in court and she has a mic. And she's trying to get Gwyneth Paltrow, the famous actress, to reenact the scene. And it's hilarious. She was like the only person who actually like got up, like had her own mic. She's like, now Miss Paltrow. I would not be using this to attract or distance myself from Gwyneth Paltrow. I would be using this to tell, okay, we can't be too shy. Grant LaFontaine, the CEO of Whatnot, I'm still available. to do the in-person shipping demonstration if you would like me to. I have not overcommitted myself. I would absolutely be happy to do that for you. So if you'd like me to fly to LA, San Francisco, New York, you have headquarters there, or we could pick a different place, as long as it's someplace that Whatnot is allowed to sell. Because I would not stop selling on Whatnot. I'd probably pick up the pace. I think he's a genius. He really is a genius. So, okay, so that was inspiration number one, was the Gwyneth Paltrow trial. The other inspiration is Krista Coupons, who was a extreme shopper who passed away, unfortunately. But she was the first person who ever made videos that would inspire me to shop at Dollar General. Otherwise, I never would have. I would have been like, I think I like shopping other stores, personal preference. But she was amazing, is amazing. And her videos are still available. They don't really get watched, though. There are other people who've carried her torch and keep people up to date with Dollar General current promotions, deals, and upcoming amazing savings, discounts, whatever. And that is a whole community on YouTube. It's not on Whatnot, though. But actually, where people really love to shop for Dollar General stuff, I've heard my e-baby. My e-baby told me this. My e-baby cries. When my e-baby cries, I pay attention because it says cha-ching. And then I go find it and say, "Oh, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. What did you sell?" Because I got a smart e-baby. People do love to shop on eBaby specifically for Dollar General store exclusive brands. And eBaby, not just mine, there are others, sells millions of dollars every year. Every year, millions of dollars in store exclusive products for Dollar General. And I just think that's so amazing. I think that's terrific. Now, a Dollar General is such a huge volume, they would look at that as like, it's not even going to cover our electric bill for the month or whatever. But, for people doing their own thing, yeah, if ever you're in search of a specific Dollar General item, you are able to search the internet. If it pulls up on Whatnot, fantastic. But it is likely you'll find something on eBaby. How does everybody like the listing features? Because eBaby was meant to basically be kind of like newspaper classified ads. You just wrote up a little bit of text, and this goes back to last century. And then if people wanted to buy that thing, they'd contact the person. And it really wasn't what it is now, but it was a text-based program and platform. And Whatnot has always started and is still a video-based platform. And the two are different for that very reason. YouTube is a video-based platform. But yeah, so I would love to hear people's thoughts on hello, Mama. And if you leave to go to watch the Whatnot, excuse me, if you leave to go to watch YouTube, there is a live Whatnot show running, so that's kind of fun. Let me see if there's anything else here that people would want to buy. Did I pull anything? Well, I still think this is pretty cool. I like this one. I could actually demonstrate it if you want me to. But here's the other thing. I will tell you, YouTube shopping, I think, is better than that Jungle River place, whatever, because sometimes I've just inadvertently clicked the button on my TV, and a lot of times the programming is not live, and sometimes it's not even shopping. It's like a music concert or something. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know what people are thinking, like how this would get somebody to buy anything. So YouTube isn't the worst. There are But yeah, it's funny. One thing YouTube does it really well is it will show me advertisements for items I already have purchased. And I kind of think too little, too late. But if it's obnoxious and excessive, if it's more than once, and I hit skip, I'm never going to buy that product. I will never buy that product. I don't have voice command enabled for YouTube, so maybe this is the only way they're ever going to hear it from my lips. I will never buy those products. So you're really helping simplify my life. I can quickly eliminate products I will not purchase. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing so many fun names here. A newish names. You've had your name for a while, but new to me. So how fun is this? Oh, and there is an auction item running here. I'll do my minimum required demo because I should be showing you what you'd be getting. You'd be getting this fantastic glass cutting board that is a Good Cook Essentials. So that I believe is Dollar General exclusive. May not be though. So do your own web research. 12 by 15 inches. You can actually use this as a serving tray. It's got the little bumper feet so it won't mess up your counter. And it's got this textured glass that's really cool. And it's tempered glass too. If it does break, it's not going to shatter. It breaks up into like little bitty nuggets, not sharp pieces. So that would be fantastic. That is what is running right now. And it's running at $7 to start. And oh, this is made by Bradshaw Home. Bradshaw Home. So anybody who's familiar with that, dishwasher safe. And it says do not. Woo! Well, hello to you too. Oh, I know what it is. I put a little ring on the back of the phone so I could do this. I didn't. This is not permanent. This was really just for this reason, just to kind of get things going and test things out. Okay, so sorry about that, and I hope that does not happen again. And it sounds like it might. Oh, but you know what I figured out? Duct tape fixes everything. And the other thing is, if you don't have duct tape handy, sorry you're shaking, YouTube. I know you're getting nervous. And if duct tape doesn't do it, then tape might do it. So I'll just try to tape a little bit here. It's hard to do on a phone because I don't want to cover up an important button or anything. But there, that might help. I mean, I could keep going with this. In fact, why don't I keep going with it? Oh my gosh. You would not believe that I have had professional training in video. However, it's very different than using Whatnot. The equipment that I was trained on, I would be sorry and ashamed if people still had to use it. It was not as instant or easy to use. So anywho, but there is an auction item. There are some buy it now items. Buy it now is basically items picked for a show, but then Whatnot has also done fixed price listings. That was something that surprised me about eBaby. My biggest misconception, the reason that I had not sold anything online, anywhere until 2022 was I thought it was going to be really complicated and I thought I was going to be dealing with problems. And frankly, I was so wrong. And I don't know if it was just the year or if it was just my mood. I was in a good mood or something, or I had a bunch of good stuff. But in 2022, like I would put stuff up and it would sell. I was like, well, good morning to you too, cha-ching. And so things obviously change a bit over the years. And so yeah, that's so funny. But ooh, let's take a look-sees. I can run a giveaway. I don't know if that's helping any or not, but you know, it's a feature I like. The thing about Whatnot is there are going to be people who have very strong opinions about different features. And I sort of try to remind myself there's probably a good use for it. There's probably a situation where that feature does have a good use. Earlier, I was starting a little shitty about the promote feature, but realistically, what the promote feature does is, for me, I've only had this happen once because a customer decided to do it without being asked, and I appreciate it. And I wouldn't have done it myself because I just wouldn't. I would have not spent the money to do it myself. If we're being real. For a big show, it's a very small percentage, but for a small show, it's like, oh no, like, like who's spending that much? And oh, I like that Lacey name. How fun is that? So yeah, so the promote feature, what I've noticed on Whatnot, it will do is it will actually start featuring the show in front of audiences or in front of buyers that normally don't fall within the general sandbox that I sell in. So that was helpful. I'd have to go back and look at that show and see how well it did. I mean, I think at the time, maybe it still is. Let me see how much it is to promote. It's like 20 something dollars, but it can get really expensive in very competitive category. It says promote your full. Oh wait, maybe it's the version I'm seeing here because I don't even see. Well, I guess I couldn't tip myself. So you have two options. One is run a 15-minute boost, and that I'd place a bid for. Well, Whatnot is an auction website. No surprise there. And then promote the full show. Okay, so I don't know. It's not giving me prices, and I'm not doing it. But I shouldn't have to do it because you obviously found me. You found me on YouTube, and then you used Whatnot, and you found YouTube. So the two tangled, and I thought that was just fantastic. But we are getting a little long. Let's see how we are doing on our YouTube. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so it's a good moment to pause, stop, and wrap it up. And until the next time I see you, wait, I gotta do my intro. Until the next time I see you, I hope you can stay home to shop. On Whatnot, I'm going to raid somebody. It's always a nice courtesy to a different seller. So let's do that. And let's see if we've got... There, we'll do Jessica CJ.
Hi, stay at home. Hi, honey. Thank you for the raid, love. And I'm sorry, I'm venting real quick. I apologize, but I'm venting real quick. And I'm like, it says this and this. She was like, well, it could be something else. No, it says the team's names on there. But she was so rude then. And just now, when she said, where's the others? I'm like,